In a world where we don't agree on much of anything, I think that one thing we can all agree on is that life isn't always sunshine and roses. In fact, you are most likely here in this place watching this video because you know that in a very personal way. Our bodies are fragile. They ache and they break and they keep us awake at night. Employment is difficult to come by for many, and jobs are lost and cut. Families fight. It seems like the whole world doesn't get along. Death comes for those we love. Unjust wars are being waged, many of them under the banner of the very Christ we worship. I know that when I turn on the news, I am distressed by stories of refugees and immigrants who walk in fear in a world where the color of one's skin can be made into a target of abuse, where religion and ethnicity can make a difference, where your worth is measured by things over which you have no control. Watching the news is confusing, depressing, and it causes anxiety to press in on us. Sometimes we wonder if we might break under the strain of it all. And certainly, there are cracks. Add to that the Christmas season. Happy time, the most wonderful time of the year when we feel pressured to be happy. I always think of the Christmas season as holding in close proximity two similar and yet very different celebrations, and I remember both of them from my childhood. The first is celebrated in Hallmark movies and Christmas songs, jingling bells and sleigh rides to Grandma's house, presents under a sparkling tree, family gatherings for holiday meals, and always, it is the most wonderful time of the year. Except when it isn't. Our culture demands a cheerful facade. But if you've lost a loved one, or you don't have the means to celebrate, if your children are hungry or arguing, or if you're staring down a major transition in your life, it can be hard to muster that joy. If you've just been hit with a diagnosis of ill health or you watch the news, it's really hard to put on a smiling face. It's like a shadow is cast over us. How can we have Christmas cheer? And that for me is when I turn to the second Christmas I remember from my childhood. And that's the one where children participated in Christmas pageants that celebrated the birth of a child in the most dire of circumstances to bring light into the whole world. C is for the Christ child born on Christmas Day. H for herald angels as they sing. R means our Redeemer. I means Israel. Those two are memories from childhood that are happy, but are more. And isn't that the point of the Christmas story? Jesus wasn't born into riches and fanfare. There were no fireworks. Although we do have one account of angels singing in the sky, enough to catch the attention of shepherds who were watching over their fields and the flocks by night. There was no feast to celebrate the day. Jesus was born in the barn among the animals to two young parents of meager means. He was born into a world where war and political violence were ever-present possibilities, if not as real as what we face today. And still, God plunked God's self down in the middle of that mess, unafraid to struggle alongside us. It was a crowd the visitors who came to see him, who knew hardship, who sought him out with joy that night and each day that was to come. Not the king, but the shepherds. Not the politically powerful, but the weak and marginalized. And they called his name Emmanuel, God with us. That was enough for Mary, his mother, who remembered God's work in the past, in the present, and in the future. The song that we read just moments ago rings through the ages wherever oppression and injustice press in all around, heralding good news that will be for all people. He has mercy on those who fear him in every generation. He has shown the strength of his arm. He has scattered the proud in their conceit. He has cast down the mighty from their thrones and has lifted up the lowly. He has filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he has sent them away empty. That's the message of Christmas. That is the Christmas story. And the Christmas story, if we have enough courage to look at it honestly, reminds us that God is not afraid of the dark. God's light breaks through the crack in the darkness, the cracks and the broken places in our lives. God is amid the dark, bringing light here and there and everywhere where darkness threatens to overwhelm us. Emmanuel, God is with us, telling us to rise up because the light has come and our days of sorrow will soon come to an end. This is the message of the prophets. It's the message of the saints through all the ages. It's a message to God, from God to you today. Light needs a crack in order to shine through. And our lives, broken and cracked as they are the most perfect vessel for the light of Christ, even in the darkness of the darkest night. Amen.